Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you sick of being mediocre and average and not doing the things you know you should be doing? Well, stay tuned.
You're going to want to watch this video because we're going to go over our 100-day update of what we've gone through trying to track our top 5 habits and become the beast that we know we can be.
That's right. And if you want to be the best version of yourself, stay tuned to the end of the video because we're going to give you amazing insights to what it's actually like to dedicate and track for 100 days.
Yeah, and it's not just for us guys. Honestly, just knowing that there could be someone out there struggling with mental health, knowing that there's a guy that just experienced a breakup that has his heart torn out, knowing that there's a guy out there that feels isolated because he doesn't have any friends to talk to.
There's a guy out there,
That's
right?
The guy we're trying
There's
to
a
help.
guy tonight I met at the gym that is 230 pounds of pure muscle, and he said he hasn't talked to a girl in 5 years because he just doesn't feel good about himself, doesn't believe in himself, and he's working at a grocery store. When the guy could be a freaking stud anywhere he works, he could do anything he sets his mind to. He has the tools, he just doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't have the confidence.
Yeah.
Those are the guys we're trying to reach. And maybe you don't think you're that guy, but guess what? If you're not where you want to be, then you're clearly not there yet.
So if you guys could, please like the video, please subscribe. That really helps the channel out. We're trying to see how many guys we can reach to make this world a better place and bring the man back to the man status. The status of being a powerful person that takes control and can lead their family properly.
Guys, we are trying to battle against situational depression. Okay, circumstantial depression, not like clinical, you can't even get out of bed depression. We're talking about the guys that are like, dude, I hate my situation. I see the people that are living the life that I want to live, and yet I'm over here not doing a dang one of these, and yet I think I have the audacity to say I deserve this life. No, you have to suffer, you have to go through hardships, and you have to be on the verge of quitting multiple times a month, or you're not actually even trying.
When Adam and Eve ate the apple, and I say both of them because both of them made the choice, we know that the man was cursed to work by the sweat of their brow, and the woman was cursed to bear child labor. So it is our God-given right and duty to work as much as possible to become something that can lead others to greatness.
We're supposed to be fruitful and multiply, not just in children. We are supposed to be fruitful. And how can you be fruitful to others? How can you help someone else with their finances? How can you help someone else get in shape? How can you help them figure out their life if you don't have your own figured out?
And notice how I said lead others to greatness, not to make ourselves great. This is not a selfish journey. It is a journey that is about everyone around you and making a team be better, because that's how you grow individually, is by growing collectively together.
Yeah, and if you're ready to grow and take this journey, start tracking your habits. It's something that is really changing our life, and although at times we're very miserable.
I just had the moment, actually, the epiphany, where I was like, you know what, we're going through hell right now. It's really hard. We're having many days where we're like, can we do this? But I know at the end of the year, when we look back, we're going to look back at this specific time period and be like, wow,
Those were the
stuff
times.
we put ourselves through during the hardest times are the times that made us grow the most.
And to be truthful, guys, you have to do this. What I'm about to say. Put yourself first, okay? And I mean that in the most unselfish way. When you put yourself first, and that means getting up way earlier than you're used to get those things knocked out that you know you should be doing, so that you're not taking that family time away from your kids.
Take that plane mask, put it on yourself first, because you can't help out your child if you're running out of oxygen, so you need to help yourself first.
That's right, guys. So yeah, like we said, subscribe to the channel. If you support this message, we really stand for men's mental health, and we're just trying to track our habits for 1,000 days, but it goes much deeper than that.
We're trying to change ourselves to help change the world, guys. We appreciate you. You guys are the best.
Like the video, bing, hit the bell notification, bing, and subscribe! Subscribe! Give me a better one than that. Come on. Subscribe!
For you that are new, we are tracking our top 5 habits: waking up early before 6 a.m., reading 15 minutes a day, exercising for at least 30 minutes a day, eating a healthy diet, and doing an evening journal with prayer and meditation.
Days 40 through 70 were a lot easier than the last 20 days that we've dealt with. Been a very big struggle. Every guy in our men's group is is feeling the pain right now of the busy summer working season here in Minnesota. And so as you can see, it's a tight race right now. We've wanted to quit multiple times.
And what are we doing, guys?
Let's
We are
just be real.
simply adding a point for every habit that we complete each day. So you can get a max of 5 points per day. So if you actually think about what we've done in 100 days, getting 510 habits, I mean, that's pretty impressive. We're at right now cadet level 3.
510 habits, huh?
And
You know, guys, the truth is that when's the last time you've tracked 100 days of anything? To be real, we set this for life. Then we changed it to 1,000 days to put something tangible on it. And to be honest, the last week especially, we have felt some extreme resistance. Some extreme resistance of, can we do this?
when you do anything, it's easy to quit. It's easy to quit when you think no one else is watching. There's a lot of programs out there. We'll shout out one. 75 Hard is a pretty popular program. A lot of people try to do it. And I say try because most people fail. And when you fail, it's over. But with this is something for life. And after 100 days, I can say if we were doing a program like 75 Hard, we would have lost many times. You know, we've had some gains physically. We've had some gains when it comes to our mental fortitude and our jobs. I feel like I've been saying more like, oh, I have to work out. Oh, I have to read. Rather than the reason why we started this of, oh, I get to. I get to be the best person, the best version of myself, and I have not been that lately.
Well, and as we've seen, someone just dropped down. Guys, this is what it takes to separate yourself from the competition at your workplace, to rise above your peers, and to become, most importantly, the best version of yourself. Excuse us, it's 10 o'clock at night. But yes, this is what it takes. Most people will make an excuse why they can't do it, why they shouldn't do it, why they got more important things to do. But if you ask me, these 5 things will make you into that person that you're trying to be.
And it's way harder than you would ever think. Through this, we've gotten into our busy season, which means we're working 12 plus hours a day, leaving the house when the sun rises, getting home after it's dark. And it feels like there's barely time to squeeze this stuff in. But we just had the realization knowing like, hey, even if we are only getting 2s, 3s, you know, hopefully 4s and 5s, but even if we aren't, we're doing more than what we would have been doing if we weren't tracking. And I've definitely seen the results. But what I will say, Joe, how have you been feeling mentally over these last 100 days, specifically since the inception of this program?
It's been an up and down battle, and that's because that's the human experience. Our emotions go like this. It's never going to be perfect. And that's why setting structure for yourself and setting things that you're going to do for a certain amount of time with no wavering is the most important thing. And we wrote down some things that we've been talking about in our men's group, and every week we check in and we're able to see, dang, look at our habits this week. It's color-coded red and green. As you can see on the screen here, we track all 5 of our habits on an Excel spreadsheet, and you can see the color-coded green means you got it done, red means you didn't. We count up the points at the end of the week, and we can look at this chart. As you can see from May 1st till now, you can see in the last month that our performance has gone down because everyone's gotten busy, and it's very contagious. The friend group you're around is contagious of what habits you pick up.
And you can see right here, I mean, look at the blacks. There's days where we missed tracking. There's days where we only got 1 or 0 points. You can see on Gary's here that he's been a lot in the red and orangish color. But, you know, we knew that this was coming. So we had our meeting recently, and we decided to have, the season's not going how you wanted. You need to call a meeting and figure out what's going on. And that's a big part of our group, is we hold each other accountable. And even in the mix of everything being difficult and busy, we're able to come together, have a conversation, and get right back on track.
And just a lot of our thoughts that we gathered, the main point was, when you're busy at work, it's a killer excuse not to work on yourself. Right? How many people own businesses, or they're just working construction, they're working 68 hours a week, they got a family, you know, usually it's you that ends up being last. Your diet, screw it, you'll pick something up from the gas station that's fried, screw it, you'll get some energy drinks because you didn't get enough sleep last night, you know, so it tends to be that one of our main complaints was that we're all busy at work. We all have very high performance, stressful jobs.
And guys, for me, mental health is a big thing, and I've been going through a lot in my life over the last 100 days. You know, when we first started this program, I was fresh off a divorce, 4.5 months in. You know, I don't get to see my kids as often as I did before. And for me, this program really has helped, it's been a distraction for me, to be honest with you. Like, it's been a good distraction. Like, I'm not as depressed, I'm not as in my feelings. I still have those moments. You know, I'm still a human being. But if I didn't have this program, I can't believe that I would be at the healing point I'm at now.
Well, at the very least, when you are going through pain, if you're going through a hard time or depression or a breakup, whatever it is, someone died, I don't know, you lost your job. If you're at least doing these habits that you know that you should be doing that will make you better as a person, especially the evening journal and the spiritual stuff, if you're trying to heal from something, this is something that's gonna, like Tyler said, heal you faster. If you're doing the opposite of these, right? You're self-obstructing, you're drinking alcohol, you're staying up all night, you're playing, God knows what you're doing. You're wasting your time. You're gonna feel even worse about yourself.
There's many times where I had the moment where I'm like feeling depressed or down because of my situation. Don't get to see my kids, I miss them. I could grab a couple beers, smoke a little weed, maybe forget about my problems, but instead in those moments, I decided to go to the gym and hit a lift, and I hit the angriest, best lift I've ever hit, and then came home and had a protein shake and some steak and potatoes.
And guess what, guys? When it did get hard, guess what? Your Elevate bros, we're human beings too. One little thorn in our side that we've had for, since high school has been smoking marijuana. And it's something that recently we've been like, we got to nip this in the bud. We've quit a year on, year off, all these things. We know that it's something that's not good for us. It's not helping us become the best versions of ourselves. So over the last couple weeks, we dabbled into it a few times, felt super lazy, felt disgusted with ourselves. And so we just want to say that, if you're struggling with marijuana or you're struggling with alcohol or whatever, just have that real conversation with yourself. Is this truly going to make me the best version of myself? Because we've been getting away with it. We've made a lot of money in our careers. We're doing well in our careers. We're taking care of our kids. What's smoking a little joint here and there going to do to us?
Yeah, and I had a moment where, I was having a hard week at work because it's been getting really busy again. So I haven't had as much time to focus on YouTube and the other things. And we want to do that for not only us, but for mainly other people out there, because I can do as much as I want to feel good mentally, but I feel the obligation to do something better for someone else out there. And I had the moment where I could decide, I feel like crap, like I need to go home and have a couple drinks instead. I leaned on God, had a lot of good prayers that night, that morning, and then the next day I went like 4 for 4 in my job. I felt my energy was right, and I felt God rewarded me for leaning on Him rather than leaning on a substance.
Yep, and I think that's part of the problem is when we feel that void or that anxiety or whatever kicking in, we lean to a vice instead of prayer, which is our best advice on how to deal with it. Obviously, we're not perfect either. We're on this journey together. We never claim that we're gurus. We're trying to give you the real raw journey of what we're going through. Like the marijuana thing, I mean, marijuana's legal now. Like it's super easy to access. Everyone's doing it. Like, there's some successful people that smoke it, but guess what? 99 out of 100 people cannot smoke marijuana and be productive and get things done or control it, If you could smoke at 8 o'clock when you get home from work, okay, whatever. But are you becoming the best version of yourself? Because we skipped our journal at times because what? Because we were stoned? I hate to admit that, okay? I wish we were more perfect role models than that, but we're striving. Another one too is we realized it's discouraging and encouraging to look in the mirror at times. Tyler, could you elaborate on that?
Well, there's been many times through this, and fitness.
A big part of this program.
Fitness and health isn't everything, but it has been a big focus on this journey.
It's the foundation.
Just because you look good, you feel good, you play good. Especially in what we do, which is sales, you do need to present yourself well, and we are the product. So.
And you learn long-term gratification. Obviously, mood benefits, all that.
Yeah, and looking in the mirror, there's some days where I'm like, all right, definitely getting some results. I'm feeling
Right.
good. And then the next day I look and I'm like, still skinny.
Right, 100 days?
Not gaining anything. Like, why is this taking so long?
And my struggle is different. I'm like, still got way too much body fat, way too much booby fat.
Oh, it looks like muscle.
There's some muscle.
It's getting there.
We'll reveal it soon.
It's
here.
getting there.
But yeah, guys. I mean, it's an everyday journey. Like if you keep focusing on the result in the mirror every morning, you're gonna be like, dude, this isn't even working. And there's been times where we're like, really wanting to quit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes some people in our group don't take it as serious, and it's contagious. It makes us feel like this is just a big waste of time. Like the YouTube thing. Do we even have time for it? Like these are just our real raw feelings, Tyler. I mean, how many times last week did you say, lad, this is just too much?
Yeah, because you do your morning routine, you don't get enough sleep. I'm struggling with words right now. It's 10:30 p.m. Like we're trying to squeeze this in because we don't have much time.
It's been 2 weeks that we've shot a video, and it's because Tyler's job has really picked up. I got my flat roof job going on. He's running 4 to 5 appointments a day, getting home at 9 o'clock. Okay, we're working more than average.
Plus, then you got to squeeze in your workout, your reading, your journal,
and all
make
this
sure
YouTube
your
stuff.
diet,
It
your
honestly,
meal prep.
this all takes like 40 hours a week. But it's been encouraging at times where we're like, you know what, it is working. You know, you get that good angle and lighting. You're like, you know what. Obviously, fitness is like the most tangible thing you can see right away. Like, you don't get to see how much you're growing from your journaling and, you know, waking up early. You don't get to see the instant effects of that. But if you guys can lock these in, it'll show up on the paycheck.
I will say that I think if we would have just said, hey, we're doing a 100-day challenge, just trying to get to 100 days, I think it would have been easier. But I think knowing that we're just doing this for life makes it harder because you start thinking and you start, you start doubting yourself. Like, can I really do this for life? Like, am I this person? Am I actually a person that I know I can be? Am I that person?
This brings us to the third point I put. Counting the cost can be discouraging and overwhelming. When you really sit here, when we first came up with this program, we had like 10 people that were interested, and we had a meeting. And after that meeting, half the team fell off because that night they went to bed, just like us, and thought, holy crap, well, what did I sign up for? Can I do this for 1,000 days, let alone just a year?
Yeah, guys, when we made this ranking system, we thought getting to a Vanguard or a Pinnacle was just like, something you wrote up.
We put no respect on Cadet, okay, on Challenger even. Okay?
Yeah, getting the Challenger will be
We're
impressive.
battling just to get to Cadet level 4.
Just to give you guys an idea, it takes roughly about a half year to a year to get in this Challenger range. It takes about a year to 2 years to get in this Vanguard range, and it takes about 3+ years to get in this Pinnacle range. So this is a lifelong journey, a lifelong scale. To get to Graham Pinnacle, the top rank, it'd take you like 15 years.
And you got to count the cost, guys. Like, counting the cost means knowing your why from when you started. We wrote contracts at the beginning that Tyler and Gary came up with.
Gary's
and
idea.
These contracts were to hold us accountable to why we joined this whole movement right here, Elevate Society, doing the points, tracking the game. And you got to count the cost because this isn't easy. There's going to be so many times where you want to quit. And the fact that me and Tyler are the founders of this makes it very difficult for us to quit because we're going to look like total wusses in front of everyone. And we ain't going to quit.
No, we're going to keep going.
We're going to go to 1,000 days no matter what.